everyone. It's Matt, the California Conventions blog. We are
here.
day one here at Sakura-Con 2017. Here with the wonderful gentleman Bosch.
Hi there.
I also have Ryan and Eve here. We're here doing a small press conference. I'm here to kind of ask some questions about just things in general. I want to lead off. I'm a big Code Geass fan, and recently Funimation has announced that they're doing Akito the Exile dub, and they did bring you back as Julius Kingsley, which we all know. Spoiler alert, he actually is Lelouch.
They announced that they brought me back?
Yes.
Okay.
You got the news, or?
No, I didn't.
Oh my god.
Okay, so we're going to ask you, was there a challenge?
Stuff that I can talk about? Are you sure?
Are we sure?
Did announce it?
Yeah, they did announce
I was
it.
looking at Funimation and see what happened there. Anyway, go ahead. Matt.
Okay, because my question is, was there a challenge between playing Lelouch in the original Code Geass series and in Kingsley in Akito the Exile? Was there a challenge in any way? Knowing what Kingsley has to go through in this.
Was there a challenge as far as like playing the character?
Yeah, playing the character, because how Lelouch is in R1 and R2 versus how he is in Akito the Exile.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it wasn't actually a very huge challenge. It was more just remembering, what happened. Like that was like not a big moment as far as, I mean, I didn't go through that a lot in R1 and R2. It just feels like in between that, right? So just trying to find that space where I'm supposed to be as, Kingsley, whatever. And so finding that space, it wasn't that complicated because the animations there, it really just kind of lent itself to it, And it was actually kind of fun to just first off, go back in as, Lelouch, looking at it as Lelouch and then going, oh yeah, that's right. This is, a little different, but it was fun. It's very short though.
Yeah.
All right. So I also noticed that you were also the Black Ranger from the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers from years back.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, we saw you as a voice actor doing many roles, like for example, Bash and Stampede from Trigun,
right.
Lelouch, like what you said here. So I wonder, from live action to voice acting, what made you want to go into voice acting?
Really, going into voice acting was just I needed a job.
Oh.
It wasn't something that, I was, I didn't look at that like and think, oh, I'm going to make a career out of voiceover. In fact, I mean, I didn't really even think about that at all. My only thoughts were to try to continue live action or on camera acting. But then I just stumbled into it, basically.
Yeah.
Pure accident.
So you just like went from one voice acting role and then just started to go on a trend for you?
That's basically what happened. I mean, what happened was after Power Rangers, I did an action film with the Japanese stunt team from Power Rangers, and the audio got screwed up, and so I had to go dub myself. And as I was dubbing myself, the producer walked in, thought I had a good hero voice, and asked me to come audition for Trigun.
Yeah.
Oh,
interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, so it's a long story. That's a short version.
Yeah.
But basically, it was just a fluke, really.
Interesting.
Okay.
All right. Good questions, you guys got?
Pretty much I really do appreciate your role as Orga. It's from Iron Blooded Orphans. Are you familiar, or at least do you know anything about the current second season for your, at least, like, are you aware of anything of the events of the actual, like, anime for your character?
Yes, I am aware.
How does that change compared to season 1 to season 2, given like you have to put some more of a broader role on Itsuka?
Well,
or Orga, sorry.
yeah, it's it is a little different, I mean, there's a lot of things like the first time around going into that, I felt like there was a little more time. There wasn't a whole lot of time, but I felt like there was a little more time to dial in the character and get the voice just where it kind of felt right, and the attitude. And this time around, it's just there's more kind of going on, I think. But again, I mean, I haven't finished all of it yet. I know what's going to happen, though. Do you know what's going to happen?
I've watched all the way through on the Japanese,
okay,
so
you
I'm
know
like,
what's gonna
spoilers are
right, no spoilers.
No spoilers
We'll
for our
leave
audience
that
out
there.
there.
We'll leave that there.
Yeah. Anyway.
So as we also know, Persona 5 had just came out, and previously you were on the cast of Persona 4 as the as the protagonist, but
And Adachi.
Yet you're not in Persona 5. Were you ever contacted to come back to do Persona 5 at any point?
I was contacted, but it was the very miscellaneous characters. I'm not really sure which characters it was, but every time that they wanted me to come in and either read for a character or audition for something, I was always gone or already booked on something else and just didn't have time to be able to come in and do it.
Okay. All right.
Following up on that question, would you ever do another Persona game again?
I would. I would prefer to come back as Narukami or as Adachi. But I would be open to, something else. But I really am kind of attached to those characters, and I think people that are familiar with it, if there's like Persona 9 and all of a sudden I'm voicing a completely different character, people might be like, no, that's Narukami, or that's Adachi, so.
So, let's see. I also noticed that you also were a voice actor in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
JoJo, yeah.
Yeah. And you know the whole crowd scene, right? Poses and all the things that have been going around. Have you been introduced to like some of them?
I've seen a couple of them, like was this one? Or something? Yeah.
I've got one that bends over and all that. Yeah. Like how, and you also see the fans that come around and also do the posts and all that.
Yeah.
How do you feel about it? Overwhelmed that a lot of fans are following the show? Things
Well,
like that?
I'm not overwhelmed, but I was surprised at how big it was.
Hmm.
Mostly because every single show that I work on, sorry, I got candy in my mouth. I'm like,
Yeah.
so unprofessional. But no, every show that you work on, they tell you this is a big show wherever,
Yeah.
And so usually, it's not true, or at least when it comes here, it's not as big. So when I was told that, I was like, yeah, okay, whatever.
You
Sure.
just wanted to
Yeah.
just go onto your voice acting.
Whatever.
What
Just
can
gonna
be the line?
just gonna
let me
work and let's
stay in,
find out.
yes.
Yeah. Because I'm not thinking about that. I'm not thinking about like, ooh, it's a big show. I'm just thinking about like, all right, well, let me just work on this character.
Yeah.
And then obviously later finding out that it was a pretty big show. But it is exactly the title. It's just a bizarre adventure. A lot of strange things that happen. In
Yeah.
it,
It's fun to watch. So
Yeah,
hearing
it's
you
fun to
becoming
watch.
one of the main actors, main characters of the show got me interested in like,
Oh,
how
yeah,
the
yeah.
English stuff went. And it looked like it went well. It went well.
It was fun.
There's been a lot of, if I may ask this, there's been a lot of news circulating around the breakup of iShine.
Yeah.
Was it primarily, would you say it's just because you want to focus more on your voice acting career, or was it more of like internal between you and your bandmates?
No, it wasn't at all an internal anything, fight or anything like that. It was, I'd been doing this, I started the band, in 2004. It's like now 13 years later. And we have like 15 albums. We have like nearly over 100 songs, acoustic versions as well. But you get to a point where it's like you're working on this book. You write this book, and you're at the end of the book. What else are you going to tell in that story? You know what I mean?
Very well said.
And so I basically got to the end of that book. Now there were other things that kind of lent itself to that, like it's very hard to maintain members. It's not a big financial thing, you're not making a whole lot of money. I'm spending a lot of money, close to 20 grand a year just to keep the band going, and that's merchandise and promotions and CDs and whatever else. And on top of that, I'm paying, the members that are coming along, which is it's just all part of the thing. But I'm always just kind of breaking even. And so financially, it wasn't beneficial for me.
Right.
And it just, again, I just got to the point creatively where I needed to take some time. Either I'd take a break from iShine, and then I'd start playing some other instruments and try to, broaden my musical horizons or whatever, and then start back up. But to me, it just felt like I should just end it, Members were hard to maintain other than Polo. He was always there, but like Jenny was gone for about a year, and then, I had to look for another bassist, I had to find another drummer because my other drummer had to leave because his girlfriend got pregnant or whatever. So there's all those kind of things, and it was like, I need to kind of just make it easier to maintain,
Right.
financially, and just where I felt like I set myself up for, having to constantly produce things. And now I just feel like starting over, I could do whatever I want.
Right.
I also felt like I got locked into a style, you know, if that makes sense.
And another follow-up question about
You don't want me to keep talking about that?
No, 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 no. No, just a follow-up question. Are you still thinking about pursuing a music career?
Absolutely, yeah. In fact, I started a whole new thing.
Oh.
Well, it's called Where Giants Fall. We have most stuff right now on Instagram. We do have Facebook and Twitter, but we're not really posting on those just yet. But Where Giants Fall band,
Okay.
Instagram, whatever.com/.
And it's like a new band that you would make?
It is basically a new band, but right now it's just Polo and myself.
Oh.
So it's the surviving members of I Shine. Jenny actually went on to play with a band called Nine Electric, which is they're fairly popular rock band. So she went off to play with them, and we're kind of doing our own thing. And you can go on there, and basically right now we have fans submitting, visuals, like they take video of something, and we basically create music to it and post it up on Instagram. So you can kind of take a look at that.
Yeah, we'll probably
See
do
what
that.
we're into.
We'll look
Yeah.
into.
We'll look into it on Instagram. Yeah, sure.
Have you ever thought like maybe like a solo career?
Yeah, but it's kind of the same thing.
Oh, okay, okay.
I mean, the solo career, it would be, for me, this is kind of everything's my solo, I Shine was my solo career. It's like I had a band, and people come along with me, but even if I did a solo career, I don't think it would just be me up there playing a guitar and singing or to a track or something. It just doesn't feel, it's not something I can do, or I feel comfortable doing. I feel like I have to be involved in orchestrate a group or whatever. And plus, I think Johnny Young Bosch Band sounds lame.
One of our readers asked us to ask you if you have the time, if you're willing to let. They asked if you had a favorite character that you've played over your entire career, at least voice acting or live action. What would it be?
It's hard, man. Because all of them are really fun, But I always say this, that Nero from Devil May Cry 4 is probably one of my most favorite characters. I don't know if he's the favorite, but he's really up there. Mainly because first I got to go to Japan, the first time, and do motion capture for the character. It was my first big mocap game. I got a script, so I got to make all the emotional choices I wanted to. I wasn't locked into pictures, so it wasn't like Bleach or Code Geass, where it's already animated and I have to do exactly that and match flaps. So I got to make all those choices. So creatively, it was a bit more fun. So if anything, there's more of me in that character again.
This is understandable because Nero was a great character in that game. I played the game all the way through.
Yeah. Nice.
Any other future voice acting roles that you can tell us?
That I can tell you about?
Nothing.
Blue Exorcist.
Okay,
Yeah. You showed this weekend.
I know. That's the thing. It's only the things that they've announced. I didn't even know the whole. For months now, I've been going around saying oh, I don't know about Code Geass. I don't know if I'm coming back. Which I had already done it, but I was I don't know what I could say. You can't say things before they announce them. It's just kind of unfortunate.
Well, I think that is it for us.
That's it, yeah. I looked back at the live stream, nobody has been putting up any questions.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, well,
Is there anybody on the live stream?
actually,
No, I'm not sure about that.
I looked at the views and it was kind of...
0 people.
I was like, wait, maybe it's a work thing. It's a Friday.
So
Maybe that.
Yeah. It's still early.
All right.
But either way, our video will be posted up on the...
Cool.
Yeah, and we have a full camera too as well.
Thank you for your time, Mr. Bosch.
Yeah, no
All right,
problem.
thank you.
Thank you guys.
Thank you very
Thank you.
much.